Alright, figure fans, here we go again, another episode of 3 for 10 Toys. Today, we're looking into the Supernatural, or Supernaturals, figures from Tonka, the 1987 toy line that included holographic images in the figures to create the effect of the figures changing from sort of normal to grotesque to animal-like, and also coming with a number of accessories, some glow in the dark, some also with the holographic imagery, which is really cool. There's 6 figures, 6-inch scale figures, and then there's 8 of the little ghost figures, which I don't have here today. But what I do have are the 6 figures, the main figures from the line. Most complete, missing a few parts here and there. I'll admit I have the parts on order as of this video, so all of these will be complete. The only one I don't have loose is this one here, which is Thunderbolt. I do have a loose Snakebite, as you can see. So I'm going to try and get a loose Thunderbolt so I have a loose set of all 6 figures. But the reason why I have these 2 in package is because these were the 2 figures of Supernaturals that I had growing up. They were the only 2. I didn't have any of the small ones. I didn't have any of the other characters. I didn't have any of the vehicles or play sets. There are actually vehicles and a play set. And I think there's a couple of beasts or animals or whatever you want to call them that go with the line as well. So the line went pretty deep. There was even a comic book, at least the mini comics that are in here. I think overseas there might have been another more regular comic series produced, but not here in the States. But if you do look behind Snakebite there is a mini comic. Not sure if there was more than one mini comic produced, but as I said, there is, I believe, a series, comic book series overseas you can look into. So let's take a look at these. We'll start with one of my favorites, which is Snakebite. And I like him because he reminds me of Cobra, G.I. Joe versus Cobra. And as you can see here, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up the hologram that's in there. It's a little tough. Oh, there we go. There we go. See the snake? Yeah. So that's that. And then with these, you take off their accessories and it exposes their hologram abilities. Some of these are very... Oh, there we go. That one worked. Let's see if I can get him to change there. Okay. So there you go. He's kind of a dude. Normal looking dude, maybe. And then boom, he changes to a snake. There you go. That's cool, right? I was gonna say some of these are so old that the hologram itself kind of like, I don't know, I guess wears out a little bit, sort of like the rub signs on the battle beasts and Transformers. But this one works pretty good, so at least you get to see that example. Now these accessories always get lost because they're so small, and you know how it is with these older figures and accessories. That's why they're so valuable today, is because that stuff gets lost pretty easily. Alright, so let's take a look at Eagle Eye. He's sort of a Native American figure. And there we go, we can get his shield to work there a little bit. Hard to do on camera, especially with the lighting. And let's see if we can get the rest of him to work here. There we go. So there he is, and then it changes. Let's see. We get a good shot. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but you get the idea of what these things do. It's pretty cool, right? I mean, I always found it a little bit frightening as a kid with Snakebite and Thunderbolt. That's that one. Now we'll move on to Lionheart. Now Lionheart is not complete. Also, his chest plate has a little bit of a busted tab in there, as you can see. So you got to be careful with these because these tabs will bust right off. So I have a new chest plate on order, and the helmet actually has, see that on the side. Oh look, you can actually see him changing as I'm showing you this. So this one actually works pretty good. That's cool, right? So right now that just kind of sits there. And let's see, get that one working. Not bad, right? Okay. So the next one here is Skull. Can't imagine why he's called Skull. By the way, these weapons are glow in the dark. So he's kind of like the leader, I think, of the bad guys. And he's got my eye on you. That's kind of creepy, right? And then he's got a little hat here. We'll take this off, and we'll see if he'll show up. Yeah, kinda, right? He goes from ugly to uglier. Yeah, these are really cool. What a concept. You don't do stuff like this anymore, you know? Alright, now this is Bernhardt. This is the guy I figured would be the leader of the bad guys. But, who knows? So he's missing his weapon, which is a laser, which I have on order, and also just like Lionheart, he has the little thing for his visor here. So that's coming too. So let's see about his shield here. Not quite sure what that's supposed to be. That one's a little rough. Gotta be very careful with these chest plates. This one's a little rough. Tough to see what he was supposed to be. Yeah, so some of these are, yeah, a little tough. I guess they wear out. But I'm happy to at least have them. So now we'll take a look at the packaged ones. Let's start with this one because we haven't looked at a Thunderbolt example yet. So there's Thunderbolt packaged. We can get his shield going there. That's kind of cool, holding a Thunderbolt. And then let's see, can we get? There we go, and he turns into all kind of electricity. He's kind of a normal dude, and then all lightning and thunder. So he kind of looks like Thor, right? That's why I had him back in the day. So there was Snakebite, who reminded me of Cobra from G.I. Joe, and Serpentor, actually. And then this guy reminded me of Thor. It was kind of the closest to Thor of an action figure that you could get back then. So he was kind of my Thor. So his chest plate's in there. It's actually behind the shield, if you can see that. So he's all complete and sealed up. So this one doesn't have a comic book behind it. So I don't think all of them came with the comic books. There's a classic price tag for you there. It's always cool to have those. His hat is always hard to find. Always falls off. Gets lost. The hammer, Thor's hammer, of course. And then we'll take a look at the back. So there's the rest of the figures, which we've looked through already. There's Lionheart as the king leader. There's actually points here too that you could get, proof of purchase, kind of like the flag points. So that's the backer. You can kind of see there different versions of their holograms. There's the Bernhardt one that we couldn't really see. Can't really see on the package either. There's that. So we'll take a look at Snakebite now. So it's kind of a representative of the good guys, and this is a representative of the bad guys. So Bernhardt is the evil leader. There we go. I don't know why I thought or seen that Skull was. Maybe it's different in the comic books. I don't know. But there you go. Bernhardt is the leader of the bad guys. So that's the back of the evil warriors. This one's in a little better shape. And this one has the comic book inside there. His chest plate is in the back of the shield there. So cool stuff. Kind of spooky packaging. Kind of Tales from the Dark Side type of forest packaging there. So there they are. That is a full set of Super Naturals action figures. Almost all complete. Missing just a few parts. Not bad at all for a 1987 kind of obscure line. I wouldn't say it's too crazy obscure. I know people have heard of it at least. But one of my favorites. I'm really glad to have the full set, as well as the two carded examples of my favorite characters and the ones I had growing up. So these are obtainable out there. They're not too crazy priced. Some of the complete ones, the super complete ones, can get up there, and the packaged ones are a little expensive, but it's not too crazy if you're looking to get into it. And again, you can just buy your favorites. You don't have to buy a full set, but these are great. They're on eBay. You can get them in some of the groups on Facebook too, and of course toy shows, they pop up here and there. I actually got these two and the loose Bernhardt at Terrificon 2025 here in Connecticut from Spider Monkey Collectibles. Shout out to Spider Monkey. Got a great deal from Spider Monkey. They had by far the greatest booth there at the show as far as vintage toys go. That's what I was after. Plenty of comic book stuff there, but the vintage toys, and Spider Monkey really did it. And there were some other ones too, but man, they definitely won the day, especially for me, because they got all my money. So there we go. Super Naturals, Tonka of all companies. Super Naturals by Tonka, 1987. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would love you to subscribe and comment and share and spread the word and tell all your friends, because that helps us quite a bit here. And come on back, hit the alerts button so you know when we post new videos, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.